Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Man Cave here at 2A Acres. About 2 weeks ago, I did a video, somewhat of a review, of a home defense shotgun I bought. It was a Stevens 320. In that video, I explained that my primary discipline has always evolved around high power service rifles, pistols. I have owned some shotguns. And I recently had the itch to get a nice home defense shotgun, and in typical fashion, I cheaped out. I shopped around for a budget shotgun. What I really wanted was a Remington 870 tactical or defense, and didn't like the price, didn't like the availability, so I decided to cheap out and see what was out there for budget shotguns. And after looking, I ended up purchasing the Stevens, but through my research and going through gun shops, I've seen several really, really affordable shotguns of varying quality, obviously. Quite a few Turkish firearms, and in my experience, I've yet to see a quality firearm that was manufactured in Turkey. So we just bypassed those. I bought the Stevens. There was some product imported by ATI, American Tactical, and of unknown origins. So it really came down to the Stevens, and the other one I was interested in was the Maverick 88. It's a Mossberg product, actually made in Texas. After I got that one, I shot it a little bit, and when weather warms up, I'll do some more videos of us just blasting shit with slugs and buckshot. But I decided, geez, I wondered, did I make a mistake? Could the Mossberg be better? Price range was about the same. And I started looking around, and I don't know, I had a weak moment, and well, long story short, I got the Maverick 88. Now, this one has, I believe it's 28-inch barrel and the 18.5-inch security barrel. It was a great deal. I figured keep one as a gun, a bed gun, and maybe keep one out in the garage. Whenever I go back onto the acreage out back of the property, I've had several bear encounters. I'm not saying that they were attacking me, but I'd like to have a firearm with me just in case. I mean, if nothing else, fire a shot into the air to scare them away. And we have a big cat that lives back there. So go that far back onto the property, it is always good to carry a firearm. Even if I'm on the four-wheeler, I can throw it up on the rifle rack. But this particular firearm, I found it local gun shop, literally just down the road from me. I've done a lot of business with over the years. They didn't have one in stock, but their website, it links to their distributor's website where you can order it. Prices are amazing. Takes, a week or so to come in. They give you a call, you come pick it up, fill out the paperwork, whatnot. So I picked this up. I got it last night, and we're gonna open this up for the first time, and you can see what's in here, and we'll go from there. Please excuse my messy bench, but let's see what we got. Put this up here. All right. Well, looks like we got a traditional owner's book and a hanging target throw that to the side. Firearm itself. It is safe, but it's a blued finish. I believe the Stevens is a parkerized finish. I'm not sure how I like it. It's very light, very, very light. Stick that to the side. That's not a good idea. I believe this is the 28-inch barrel. Like I had said, a couple of my kids shoot trap competitively, and not that I have any plans to go shoot trap, but they may convince me to go to the range with them, and at least now I have a shotgun I can do that with. And look at this, nice little sticker. This is got a lot of shipping oil. It has been fired. Test fire. You can see the marks on the bolt. I'm going to go off camera now, and I'm going to take this apart, clean it properly, and then I think it'd be a good idea to get the other shotgun down here, and we'll do a side-by-side review of the features and functions and go from there. Be back. All right, we're back. I took apart the Maverick 88, safe weapon. Cleaned all that. Had some pretty thick, gooey, I don't want to say cosmoline, but it's preservative oil, doused on really, really heavy over all the internals and externals. Presumably because it's shipped in a cardboard box, just to fight corrosion and dampness. I will say this firearm, I literally had to go to YouTube and look up a tutorial on how to put it back together. It's not the easiest. I imagine over time you do it enough, it becomes quite simple, but you've got rail pieces that just fall right out. And anyhow, a little bit about the Mossberg Maverick 88. It's made in Texas, Eagle Pass, Texas, which is in Maverick County, Texas, hence the name Maverick. I've actually been to Eagle Pass, Texas on a business trip a few years ago. Beautiful part of the country. You can literally see right into Mexico across the Rio Grande. But it is, I want to say, a Mossberg 88 clone. It's got the actions almost identical. You can see the elevator. It doesn't, like this one here, you have to push in to load. Biggest difference I could see is probably inferior materials, probably inferior finishing. This is a blued finish, and it doesn't seem to be a spectacularly good bluing job. Fit and finish leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's a cheap firearm. It's so you get what you pay for. I'm sure it's going to function just fine. The Mossberg 500 has a tang safety right here. Let's see if I get it. Would be right there, where this has a crossbolt safety. So right off the bat, I can tell you this: it's extremely light, which means it's going to be a little bit more felt recoil, when shooting it. But it does have a very, very nice butt pad, very soft and squishy, much more than the Stevens 320 had. So it's firearm, and I'm gonna, like I said, this came, I think they call it the security / field model, meaning it came with 2 different barrels. All right, sorry. So here it is in its field configuration, which would be good for shooting trap, turkey, pheasant, whatever you're hunting. It does have a modified choke, so I wouldn't recommend buckshot through it, and definitely not slugs. Either way, but I'm going to do a comparison. Oh, one more thing. This is the magazine plug. Goes into the magazine to limit it to 2 rounds for, I believe, waterfowl hunting. I've never seen one that's literally just a dowel with O-rings. I didn't know if it came with one. I tried feeding some rounds through it, and they weren't feeding, so I took the cap off, and it pushed this out the backside here. But I guess if you're going to do waterfowl hunting, you need to keep it, but that seems pretty chintzy to me. But it does the job. So let's look at the 2 side by side. Swap the barrel back over. That way there we're looking at, apples to apples. Maverick 88, Stevens 320. Maverick 88, obviously being a Mossberg 500 clone, made by Mossberg. Stevens 320, which weighs considerably more, which will lighten up the recoil. It'll absorb some of the recoil rather than it being absorbed in your shoulder. That's a safe weapon as well. The Stevens is owned by Savage, but this particular one, it says right here, manufactured by Sun City Machinery Company in PRC. Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that's People's Republic of China, although it could be People's Republic of California. Same damn thing, right? Only maybe better food. But it is Chinese made. It's been my experience, and we talk about a lot of Chinese crap, and firearms seems to be the exception of the rule. Most of the firearms I've found made in China, especially if they're made to U.S. specs, for a U.S. manufacturer, is actually pretty good quality. But of course, the price is much cheaper. Labor cost considerably less. But this does feel like a real solid firearm. Probably more so than this one. This just, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up. I'm just going to, sounds hollow and toyish and real chintzy versus it feels better. I will tell you, I do not like the grip here near the tang, nor the grip on the slide or pump, the action, whatever you want to call it, beforehand, where on the, you get this much better here and get much better grip on the here. Otherwise, they're basically the same price, except this one came with the 28-inch barrel. So realistically, you have 2 shotguns for the price of 1. And Now we'll talk about the action. This is a Mossberg action. I'm not really too familiar with Mossberg actions. I've never had a Mossberg. I've had 870. I'm very familiar with the Smith & Wesson action. But I will say the action release on this one is much better than on the Stevens. It's kind of rounded, and you gotta manipulate your finger into a weird position to release it. As far as finish, like I said, this is a blued finish, and it's not a terribly great job. Where the Savage is Parkerized, realistically, the fit and finish, and even when I took it apart, less machine marks. It just seems like a higher level of craftsmanship on the Stevens. The Stevens, however, it's got a rotating bolt. It's somewhat of a clone of the old Winchester 1300. Rotating bolt. Sort of like an AR-15. It's actually got a bolt carrier that it rides in and a pivot pin. It's, I don't want to say it's just like an AR-15, but it's a comparison I can draw, and it's what I'm familiar with after 35 years of messing with the AR platform. So I've shot this one. I put, I don't know, dozen, 2 dozen rounds through it. Shells. This one I have not. When we do get it shooting, when the weather warms up a little bit and we can set up some better targets, I'll do a full shooting review of both firearms. But as of right now, just on feel and what I could see taking it apart, I like the Stevens. I really do. But either way, listen, like, share, subscribe, or don't. I don't give a fuck. Nah, I'm kidding. We love you. Either way, peace out.